What if the fastest way to win is not by pushing harder, but by knowing when to step back? I used to believe success was a straight line powered by late nights, extra coffee, and sheer stubbornness. Then I learned a better rule from Peak Performance by Brad Stulberg and Steve Magness: stress plus rest equals growth. That simple idea changed how I work, train, and live. Let's talk about the myth first. The hustle story says the person who sleeps the least and grinds the most gets ahead. It sounds bold, it sells, but it breaks down in real life. I have lived both sides. When I chased volume at all costs, my output got messier, my thinking got foggy, and my results got flatter. The more I tried to force it, the more my edge disappeared. Maybe you have felt that too. You wake up fried, your inbox drives your day, you try to muscle through, and the work fights back. Peak Performance offers a different frame. Pressure is not the enemy. Chronic pressure is. The goal is not to eliminate stress. The goal is to make stress useful, then recover with skill so your body and mind rebuild stronger. That is how athletes keep setting personal bests. That is how creators stay sharp for years. It is also how regular people like us get more done with less drama. I like to picture it as a training dial, not an on or off switch. Turn the dial up when you want adaptation. Turn it back down when you need to absorb the work. The book calls this dance, stress, and rest. In practice, it looks like cycles. Intentionally hard efforts, intentionally real recovery, not random, not guilty, not an afterthought, a plan. Here's where most of us slip. We confuse background noise with productive pressure. A crowded calendar is not the same as real training. Endless meetings, notifications, and comparison scrolling create fake stress. They keep you busy but not better. Useful stress, the kind that builds capacity, is specific. A focus code sprint, a thoughtful sales call, one chapter drafted with full attention, a 20-minute interval workout where your breathing is honest. You can feel the difference. So how do we find that sweet spot, the zone between too easy and too much? I use a simple Goldilocks test. If a task bores me, it is too cold. If it overwhelms me, it is too hot. If it makes me alert but not anxious, it is just right. Adjust until you land there. Make the problem a bit harder, or break it into smaller parts, or shrink the time window and raise the intensity. One dial at a time. Let me give you an example from work. Years ago, I used to block an entire afternoon for deep research. I would drown in tabs, lose the plot, and feel guilty at dinner. Now I set a single objective, one question to answer. I book one focus block from 9 to 10:30, phone in another room, notes open, timer running, then I walk for 10 minutes. That 90-minute push is enough to make progress. And the short walk prevents me from emptying the tank. Do that rhythm 3 times in a day and the quality stacks. This is not just a productivity trick. It is how biology works. Your brain runs in waves. You can concentrate deeply for about an hour or so, then the system needs a brief reset. A short break is not a luxury. It is how memory locks in and creativity turns on. Ever had your best ideas in the shower, on a jog, or while making a simple meal? That is your background brain doing its job once you stop forcing it. When you let your attention soften, your mind connects dots you could not see when you were staring at the screen. If you are a runner or you follow sports, this principle is familiar. Nobody PR teams all day. You stress the system, then you get out of the way and let the body rebuild. A famous miler in the 1950s did something radical before his record race. He tapered, he rested, he let freshness meet fitness at the starting line. The world can call that soft. I call it smart. Tapering is courage. It says, I did the work. I will not ruin it by panicking. Now let's ground this in everyday life in the States. Maybe you manage a team in Austin. Maybe you are a nurse in Atlanta. Maybe you are a parent in Seattle who squeezes a workout between daycare drop-off and a staff meeting. No matter your situation, the stress and rest cycle applies. Here is a simple blueprint you can start this week. Number 1, design clean stress. Choose 1 to 3 truly demanding blocks per day. 90 minutes is a great default. Start with 1 if your attention is scattered. Put those blocks when your energy is highest. For many people, that is from 8 to noon. For others, it is later. During that window, pick 1 meaningful target. Draft the proposal. Build the model. Outline the chapter. Practice the pitch. If it does not stretch you, raise the bar. If it spikes your stress, reduce the scope. Number 2, schedule micro recovery on purpose. After each focus block, step away for 5 to 15 minutes. Walk outside. Breathe slowly, stare at a tree, drink water, leave your phone alone. The point is to change state. When you return, your mind is clearer and your next block starts faster. Number 3, stack real recovery into your week. Build at least one evening with zero obligations. No inbox, no laptop on the couch. Put your phone in the kitchen. Read a novel, play with your kids, stretch, call your friend. Laughter counts as recovery. So does boredom, on Saturday or Sunday. Take a long walk, no goals, let your thoughts wander. You will be surprised what surfaces by Monday. Number 4, practice the taper before high-stakes days. Big presentation on Wednesday morning, do not cram until midnight on Tuesday. Review once in the afternoon, then move your body, eat a calm dinner. Connect with someone you love, get to bed on time. You will perform better fresh than frantic. Number 5, protect sleep like a contract. Sleep is the number 1 legal performance enhancer we have. Every domain gets better with it. Mood, focus, learning, immune health. If you can swing it, pick a consistent sleep window and honor it most nights. Create a screen sunset about 1 hour before bed. Keep the room cool, dark, and quiet. If your mind races, keep a notepad by the bed. Empty your head before lights out. If you are a parent or a shift worker and life is messy, aim for steady anchors. A short wind-down ritual, a nap when you can. Any improvement helps. There is another trap worth naming, the fake tournament. In modern offices, gyms, and feeds, it can feel like there is an invisible race happening all the time. That race can twist your perception. You see a coworker post a late-night win and you decide you must match it. You hear a podcast guest brag about a morning routine that starts before sunrise and you feel behind. Comparison can be useful when it inspires. It becomes poison when it turns into fear. The authors remind us to drive our own lane. Your goal is to beat your previous self, not a highlight reel. If you work in tech in San Francisco, that might look like this. Another engineer ships a feature on Sunday night. Good for them. You keep your rhythm. You spend Sunday afternoon outside, get to bed at your normal time, and ship your feature on Tuesday morning with fewer bugs. In sales in Chicago, a teammate makes 20 calls after hours. You do not mirror the volume. You refine your talk tracks during your morning block and make 10 higher quality calls before lunch. Results favor the rested. Let us go deeper on useful stress. The right kind of challenge produces a sensation of effort without panic. In that zone, you can enter flow, the state where time blurs and work feels like play. To get there reliably, try these levers. Clarify the next win. Do not sit down to write a book. Sit down to outline the 3 key stories in Chapter 2. Limit your inputs. 1 tab, 1 doc, 1 goal if you need resources. Gather them first, then shut the door. Create a clear finish line. A single 90-minute block is better than an open-ended afternoon. Add a consequence that helps, not harms. Tell a friend you will send the draft by evening, or book a meeting tomorrow to show the prototype. Gentle pressure adds focus. Balance the scales with recovery that fits the stress you chose. Heavy brain day, take a walk, lift light, or cook something simple. Heavy leg day. Nap or read and call it good. If you trained hard physically, do not also grind late mentally. If you work deep mentally, avoid slamming a high-intensity workout at night. Match recovery to the system you taxed. Creativity deserves its own kind of rest. When I get stuck, I step into what I call shower mode. Any low-effort, soothing task works. A real shower, folding laundry, watering plants, easiest bike spin. The rule is simple. No inputs, no news. No podcasts, no calls, just quiet. Ideas arrive when the brain has space. This is where the courage to stop shows up again. High performers fear losing their edge if they ease up. The opposite is true. Constant pressure blunts your edge. Strategic rest sharpens it. Before I adopted stress plus rest equals growth, my worst weeks came right after huge pushes. I kept pressing to regain momentum and fell into a hole. Now I plan for the dip, after a big sprint. I schedule a half day of nothing. I feel the urge to keep going, and I do not. The next day I am back to form. You might wonder, what about deadlines I cannot move? What about crunch times? The answer is not to avoid them. It is to prepare for them and to recover from them. When I head into a real crunch, I make 2 lists. One list is my 3 must-wins. The other is everything I will not do until we deliver. Then I set 2 daily anchors. A real meal away from screens and a short evening walk. Even in crunch, those anchors keep me human. And when the push ends, I take a full day off. Not a fake day off where I half work and half feel guilty. A real one. That single day protects the next 2 weeks. Let us talk about burnout signs, because catching them early is the difference between a small reset and a long repair. Watch for 4 signals. First, your sleep quality drops even when you go to bed on time. Second, small tasks feel unusually heavy for more than a few days. Third, your mood gets sharp and little things set you off. Fourth, you stop caring about work you used to like, if 2 or more show up. Do a 3-day reset, lighten your workload. Move your body lightly, eat simple, real food, go to bed a bit earlier. No heavy lifts in the gym and no heavy lifts at your desk. By day 3, most people feel their mind clear. One more piece from the book that changed me was how they frame identity. If you only feel valuable when you are going full speed, rest will always feel like a threat. Shift your identity from I am the person who never stops to I am the person who performs when it matters. The second identity includes recovery by design. That is how champions think. That is how parents who carry heavy loads think. That is how great teachers and steady leaders think. They are not casual about rest. They are serious about it. Now I want to make this concrete with 2 sample days written for voice so you can feel the cadence in your body. A maker day for a young professional working from home. Wake without the phone, drink water, light stretch. Short journaling prompt, what is my one big win today? From 8 to 9:30. Focus block 1, write the proposal draft, only the proposal, no email. Short walk, coffee if you like it. 1 minute of deep breaths before you sit down again. From 10 to 11:30. Focus block 2, revise and tighten. Create 3 slides that capture the core argument. Lunch away from screens, 10 minutes of sunlight if possible, from 1 to 2:30. Admin block, email, Slack, scheduling, quick decisions only, from 3 to 4. Phone-free walk or easy cycle, let ideas land. Evening wind down begins about 1 hour before bed, screens away. Low lights, read fiction, prepare for tomorrow. A parent day for a nurse who works early and trains for a local race. Wake early, quick check-in, what is my one training focus today? From 6:30 to 7. Intervals on the treadmill, short and sharp, then a 10-minute cool down, healthy breakfast, commute playlist that calms you, shift at the hospital. Between patients, take 30-second breaths where you can. Count to 5 on the inhale, count to 5 on the exhale. After work, light walk with the kids or the dog, no news, play dinner, prep lunch for tomorrow, wind down, lights out on time. You do not get bonus points for doom scrolling. You get stronger by sleeping. Neither of these days are perfect. That is the point. You will not get a gold star for following a rigid routine. You will get results from honoring the rhythm. Stress with intention, rest with intention, repeat. You might be wondering how to fit this in if your job is all meetings. Try this. Begin and end meetings on time. Ask for clear agendas. Protect 2 short focus windows daily, even if they are just 45 minutes each. Turn 2 meetings into emails and take your breaks in public. That last one matters. When you step out for a 5-minute walk, you give your team permission to do the same. Healthy norms are contagious. What about fitness? The book looks at this through an athletic lens and it carries over beautifully. If you are new to movement, start so small it feels silly. 10 minutes of brisk walking every day for 1 week. The next week, make 1 walk 20 minutes. The 3rd week, add 2 short jog segments. Your body adapts to the stress you give it. It adapts faster when you let it recover. If you already train, consider a microcycle. 2 hard days, 1 easy day, 1 moderate day, 1 rest day, repeat. If you are training for a race, build in a taper before the event. Reduce volume, maintain a touch of speed, fresh legs, calm mind. All of this requires boundaries. A boundary is not a wall. It is a rule for how you protect your energy. Here are 3 I use. I do not check email in the first 90 minutes of my day. I do not accept meetings in my best focus window unless they are truly essential. I step away from my screen after dinner unless a rare emergency requires otherwise. When I need to say no, I keep it warm and clear. Thanks for thinking of me. I am at capacity this week. I want to do a good job if I commit, so let us revisit on Friday. That is not rude, that is respect. Let me address guilt because it will show up. You will take a break and a voice will whisper that you are falling behind. You will leave the laptop closed on Sunday and feel a tug to peek. You will go to bed on time and your phone will beckon. When that happens, label the feeling, then return to your plan. Guilt is not a signal that you are wrong. It is a habit firing. It gets quieter each time you keep your promise to yourself. The deeper reason this matters is not just output, it is who you are becoming. Endless grind narrows your world. You become a smaller version of yourself. You miss jokes. You snap at people you love. Your wins feel thin. When you live like a cycle instead of a straight line, you get capacity and joy. You show up better for the people who depend on you. You go to sleep proud of your day. That is the life I want for you and for me. So here's your starter plan for the next 7 days. Pick one daily 90-minute block for your most important work. Protect it like a meeting with your future. After each block, take a 5 to 10-minute walk. No phone, just your feet and your breath. Choose one evening this week with a hard stop on work. Make it a little ceremony. Lights low, book open. Gratitude for what you did, permission to leave the rest. Move your body a little every day. It can be a short walk, it can be stretching on the floor. Consistency beats intensity at the beginning. Set one boundary that will actually stick. Maybe no email before your first focus block. Maybe no screens in bed, then keep it. At the end of the week, ask 2 questions. Where did stress help me grow? Where did rest help me grow? Write your answers. Adjust the dial. If you like mantras, try this one. I train hard, I recover well. I repeat, say it out loud before you start a big project. Say it before a workout. Say it before you close the laptop for the night. You are not lazy for resting. You are investing in a better tomorrow. I want to close with a quick story. A few months ago, I was preparing for a keynote. Old me would have crammed until midnight the night before, pacing and rehearsing my intro 20 times. New me followed the formula. I did a focused run through from 3 to 4 in the afternoon. I went for a long walk. I ate dinner without my phone. I chatted with a friend, lights out on time. The next morning I woke up clear. I felt nerves, sure, but also a quiet confidence. The talk flowed, the Q&A was sharp. On the flight home I realized what had changed. I finally trusted the cycle. Stress plus rest equals growth. It is not a slogan. It is a way to live with strength and sanity. Let the world race on a straight line if it wants to. We will move like waves. We will press, release, and return stronger. If this inspired you, please give it a like, subscribe for more weekly insights, and share it with a friend who is on this journey with you. Thanks so much for being here. I truly appreciate you. See you in the next video.